I look like I'm fresh off the runway. Bitch, I go crazy the dumb way.
So, hi, I'm Pi, and I wanted to start, like, my cat is in the background crying, so don't pay her no mind, but I wanted to start, journaling, my journey. So we tried to conceive last year. Yeah, she's like really upset with me, so that's why she's crying like that. She's acting out, she's in timeout. But, and her name is Chloe. But last year, me and my fiance, we tried to conceive, and the first one was a no. The second one was a chemical pregnancy, and we tried again. We used the same donor twice. You know what? I'm lying. We used the same donor 3 times. So we did 3 cycles with one donor. And we did 1 cycle with another donor. And we did 2 cycles last year around, I want to say the May through August. Yeah, May through August, I want to say we did like 1 cycle then. And then we came back and we did another cycle like around Thanksgiving time. And we did another cycle with that same donor in, I want to say April for our anniversary. And this last donor, I could have the dates mixed up, but I do know that we did 3 cycles with one donor and 1 cycle with another donor. And I kind of just realized that, I kind of came to the conclusion myself that we may just not be compatible. So yeah, so now I've heard of this growing up because I remember my mom using this. Never knew what she was using it for. Never knew, you know, why I seen this bottle laying around. But we tried the whole Mucinex thing, but it was kind of hard for us because we're lesbians and we didn't have access to a donor for a whole week, maybe more, while doing the whole Mucinex thing. So I think Mucinex is kind of a little bit harder to do with lesbians, just because we're lesbians and we don't have that in-home dick, basically. But yeah, so we tried the Mucinex thing, and I was hearing about Geritol. So my fiance ordered some Geritol from Walgreens, and I went and picked it up today. But I'm going to try this, and they say that it's a baby at the end of every bottle, so I hope so, because I really want to have a child, and I know my fiance, she wants to have a child as well, and I want to be able to give her a child as well, on top of me wanting one too. But we're gonna try this, and I really hope and pray that this works, honestly. Going down the trying to conceive journey, it gets a little discouraging. I'm not gonna lie. There was plenty of times that I wanted to give up. And my fiance, she was there with me, and she really was just, comforting me and letting me know, hey, if you don't want to continue with this, we don't have to. Still going to love you. It doesn't really make or break the relationship, but still I want to be able to have a child and give her one. Oh, it stinks so bad. But if I can drink brown liquor, clear liquor, whatever liquor, with no chaser, or chase it with alcohol, drink it straight, whatever, I should be able to handle a little Geritol. I hope. You know what? I was expecting it to be way worse than what it is now. And it's really not that bad, honestly. I taste a hint of grape somewhere. Maybe aftertaste of grape. I don't really know. But anyways, took that, and the bottle says that it should be taken once a day. After a meal, with a meal. And I just end up eating some pizza rolls or something like that. But another thing, we plan on doing AI. And AI is artificial insemination. So basically, the donor is going to ejaculate in a cup, in a sterile cup, and we're going to use, I want to say, a syringe, the little thing that you pull, you suck this stuff up, suck it up, and she's going to put it on in there. Another thing I want to speak about is the donors. Oh, now the first donor we had, he was very respectful. The first time, he did not try to push the whole NI or PI insemination on me. He did not. He was very respectful of the fact that, you're a lesbian woman, da 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 da, or whatever. Because a lot of donors, and I wanted to say that, a lot of donors, they try to push the PI, the PI and the NI, and they try to say like, greater chances that you'll get pregnant if you do partial insemination and natural insemination, which is sex for the NI. The partial is where they, jack off and they get it to the hole and just, skeet or whatever. And it's normally like to the hole, maybe just in just a little bit. And that's partial insemination. But a lot of these donors, they will try to push the PI in our situation. So, the second donor, he was very pushy about NI and PI. And it became a little weird, but this was around a time that we knew a lot but didn't know a lot, and I was willing to do anything that it took for me to have a baby. So he well, basically, he was saying to us basically, and first of all, the discussions with the sperm donors, I always allow my fiance to talk to them. Then when she sees that he might be a potential, or however route we choose to do, whether we choose to go to sperm bank or, do our own research on donors ourselves and, go through the whole steps that they normally go through at the sperm bank when you're given sperm. But I normally let her talk to them first before just being like, oh, well, he seemed pretty cool. I'm going to go with him. But back to what I was saying. He started to make a lot of sense. Well, with the syringes, leakage could happen and all of that. So, she talked to me and we thought about it for a couple weeks. She wasn't with it. But the more and more he talked to her about it and she started to relay the messages to me, I kind of talked her into it like, okay, well, it won't be enjoyable for me, but if this heightens our chances of getting pregnant, then I'll do it. So I did it. And it was more so of, to my understanding, it was supposed to just be you get yourself to the point and then you just slide, insert yourself on in. And it was nothing like that. Basically when it came down to it, because I made sure my fiance stayed in the room, when it came down to it, he basically was trying to have sex with me. So like I said, I was educated, but not fully educated on the matter. And I'm always saying this because sperm donors, especially if you're doing your own, your own search for them, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, given the fact that you are, lesbian or whatever you choose to identify with, they will take advantage of that. And majority of them are only looking for what. So my voice got a little deep, but it's really hard, especially for women trying to find a sperm donor, find the sperm donor, because we look at, okay, well, all I need to do is track my ovulation and, prepare my body for pregnancy and all that stuff. And it's like, we can do all that and then we find a sperm donor and on our own and they're not compatible with our body. So that really comes down to the tricky part. And the more and more a person do it, it's like you kind of get discouraged. You're kind of like, well, I don't want to do it anymore, and then you find that hope when you're walking past a baby or you're scrolling past a baby on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. You're like, well, I'm going to give it a try again. I got baby fever all over again. And then you run into one of those type of donors. And at this point, I'm probably just scrambling on. But I just want to journal our journey. And it's a lot of things that you have to be aware of. I always ask my fiance, like, how is it that the people who aren't trying to have a baby, who don't want kids, who don't want children, how do they be the ones who just pop up pregnant? Like, how do the ones who mistreat kids, who don't even like kids, be the ones who pop up pregnant? And it's like people like us who were trying to have a child, have children, they were going to love them the correct way and be there for them and raise them in the best way that we know how. How is it people like us, it seems like we gotta go through hell and hot water to get to it. And I always wondered that, because it's like those people, they don't track their ovulation. So sometimes I feel like, why do I have to track mine? You know, why can't we just choose a date where we're going to go and meet, you know, go to the doctor's appointments with the potential sperm donor, you know, get the STD, STI results, you know, get a swimmer's test done as well, because a lot of donors, they will just want to give you sperm or NIPIU, and their swimmers aren't even swimming. And you're doing multiple cycles with this person, and in all reality, this person really just wants sex. So it's like, that's very important. You know, we go to doctor's appointments, you know, like, are there any, it's a lot of questions that you need to ask. And you know what? I'm going to do that in the next video, actually. But this is the first video. I know that last year and earlier this year, I recorded because I wanted to do this, but I got a new phone, so those videos are probably lost. And I have over maybe 10 or 11,000 pictures and videos in my phone, so probably not going to go back through and try to find those videos, especially if it happened last year. But in the next video, I'm going to go over some questions that you need to ask, proof of things that you need to see in the next video. So, peace.